Game review.
Welcome to the show. It's the Crow. For today's episode, we're going to be reviewing Mega Man 11 on the Switch. I'm going to be doing a little bit of I feel a little bit of a different sort of rating system than most people or other places do. Simply because the very first thing I'm going to rate is the actual cover and the case itself. That is quite important to me. So this is how it's going to work. This one's going to be a little longer than all the other ones. Are probably going to be because this is the first one, and I'm going to just kind of explain how I rate it. There's also another video. It's unlisted if you want to go check that out. It's probably popping up right about now. So that just sort of explains how I rate the games. So the very first thing, you can on the cover on the boxes you get 5 points, and I'll show you where you get the points from. The 1 point gets for if it has cover art. So this does. So it gets a point for that. The second one, as you see on the back here, you have the art on top of here. Then you have all the junk on the bottom nobody cares about. If the junk takes up more space on the back than the actual art there, then it doesn't get a point. This one barely makes it, so it's going to get a point. So it's at a 2 out of 4. 2 out of 2 right now. On the inside, we have the inside cover. Whoops. We got the inside cover. There's no art inside of either of those halves, so it doesn't get a point for either of that. The first games I got on the Switch had art on it, so that's why I'm basing it off of it having art or not. So this does not. So it now has a 2 out of 4. It doesn't have a manual either, so you get a point if you have a manual. The only way you lose a point is if you don't have a manual. So it actually is now at a 1 out of 5. We can see here there was something, it fell. Where'd that go? You also get a little bit of a bonus point for every kind of sort of thing that's inside the game that comes with it. Rather it be a keychain or something. This has an ad for other Mega Man games on the Switch. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a point. Does it deserve it? Probably not. I'm just going to give it the benefit of the doubt here because it did come with something at least. It gave those clips that are inside the case something to do rather than just do nothing. So it's got a 2 out of 5. That's quite not good. It should have a 5 out of 5. Quite honestly, it is the cover of your game. See on the game review, the Crow Show game review, we judge books by the cover here. So I'm not going to talk too much more about that. I'm going to get right into the actual gameplay and the art and sort of the music and all that other good stuff that happens with this game. We'll do that, and let's go.
Mega Man 11. The game Capcom knew the fans wanted. You know, it's always great when a gaming company listens to what their fans want. It's you know, it's the best feeling, honestly. It's not like we wanted Mega Man Legends 3 or anything. God, no. No, those games suck. No. What's great about this Mega Man game is that it's completely original. There's no other Mega Man game like it, quite honestly. The bosses, they're unlike anything you've ever seen before. Let's check out Mega Man 11's story, see if it's any good. Well, let's see what this thing's got to offer. So Light and Wily are at the Academy for Robots, and Light doesn't like Wily's research. The committee agrees and also does not like Wily's research for some reason. Obviously Wily's upset because he worked hard on that, so how does he respond? By smashing it on the ground. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Wily wakes up 60 years in the future, remembers that, so he builds his invention again to get back at Light. And how does he do that? By breaking into his laboratory and stealing all of his robots, adapting them with the double gear system. Now it's up to Mega Man to get them back. That storyline gets a solid 1 out of 3. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the script.
A genius of my caliber needs sleep to keep his brain in gear.
Now let's crank it up a gear.
Well, gee, there is sure a lot of wordplay on the word gear. I guess that would make sense since you are using the double gear system.
Doc, how about giving your favorite assistant a break?
I don't need a break, Otto.
It can't be. Oh, but it can.
This is the prototype double gear system that Wily developed back at Robot University.
Oh, well, gee, it's a good thing you kept that broken pile of junk after all these years, Mr. Light.
Give up, Wily.
You leave me no choice. Time for Plan B. Spare me. I'm a helpless old man. Mercy, Mega Man.
Enough! You can't fool me that easily.
Drat. I'm the greatest. I'm a genius.
My. Will you never learn from your
How did he
mistakes?
get there? How did he get there?
Light.
So now let's just listen to some of the awesome boss sound effects, shall we?
What are you doing here? My left!
Oh, are you hearing what I'm hearing? No, let's play that one again. Listen closely.
Welcome to my chemical paradise.
It's showtime! Elegance!
I like to spike!
Again!
I'm assuming I'm maybe one of the only ones who noticed this, but if you listen to Impact Man's sounds and then Bounce Man's sounds, it almost sounds a bit sexual. And it's kind of funny because Impact Man is also the strong against Bounce Man, so I'm just imagining just.
Bounce Man's back!
Behold, Impact Man!
Oh boy, a new playmate! Let's get humming!
I like to spike!
What?
Spike formation engage!
Ouchies! Again!
Impale!
Ouchies!
Implode! Impact! I see your point!
Aw, playtime's over!
All jokes aside, Fuse Man actually had some pretty good sound effects. I really enjoyed listening to those. Those were my favorite, and he's honestly probably my favorite boss, even with design and everything.
You scrambled my electrons. I recognize that voltage. How could I refuse?
Now the art does look pretty nice. I like the backgrounds of the game. They look quite beautiful, to be quite honest with you. And also the cover looks pretty nice. And this looks nice, but I can make it better. Check this out.
In a world covered by endless water, people are forced to eke out a living on the small patches of land that remain above the sea. The people of this world rely on ancient technology driven by quantum refractors.
The only issue I had was the animation around the edges looked a little blurry. But anyways, the art gets a 2 out of 3. We're going to take a quick look into the music of Mega Man 11. I'll leave a link to the full soundtrack in the description. But the music to me felt like it was the exact same song on repeat almost. Not necessarily repeat, but maybe like the notes were changed, or it just sounded very similar, all the songs to me. I'll play the title screen theme here, and then I'll also play that for Mega Man 3, which is my favorite Mega Man theme. So you can sound a little, hear the comparison and why Mega Man 3 is better, basically. So for the level design, I honestly did not like Bounce Man's world. It hurt my thumbs. No, there was a lot of bullshit in that one. Acid Man, I really enjoyed that one. You could jump higher when you were under the acid, I guess. There's a sequence in the last Gear Fortress world where you're just waiting, and then you finally fight the final boss. That was kind of boring, but I really did enjoy jumping on the gears. That was honestly quite fun. I'm going to go ahead and give the level design for the game a 1.5 out of 3. The gameplay wasn't too bad, to be honest. Sometimes I jumbled up the controls where when I went to dash, I'd accidentally jump or dash the wrong way or change my character at some point. But it really wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. The chase scenes I really did enjoy, to be honest. Those were really fun. But there was a lot of bullshit like this. And this. And this. And that. And also the shop did make it a little bit easy. I don't know how they could have fixed that, but at least there was quite a bit of different options you could choose. I'm going to go ahead and give the rating for the gameplay a 1.5 out of 3. Now, the enemies were actually quite cool. There was a lot of them, and it was also really cool that they added a sort of a gallery so you could kind of read about them. It was just kind of cool. I'm gonna honestly give the enemies a 3 out of 3. I quite enjoyed them. Some of them were kind of annoying, but I mean that's kind of how it has to go. The Sniper Joe was kind of annoying, and the Ice Swan, oh boy, was the Ice Swan annoying. Now the mini bosses I actually found quite fun. This one was actually my favorite. They were all quite unique, and they all had its own style of beating them. Some you could beat quicker than others, but that's fine. Some even you could beat twice in one level, so that was also great. I'm gonna give the mini bosses a 2 out of 3. The bosses, on the other hand, I don't think were as good. I think it was kind of baloney that you could just beat them with 3 shots with the weakness, as you see here with Bounce Man. You can also just spam Fuse Man with his weakness as Bounce. Block Man, it was kind of annoying how you could see that they focused a lot more on him and his level. There's too many bosses, and he had a couple different forms. Here, Acid Man wasn't too bad. You kind of beat him. You didn't really need the his weakness. You could kind of just beat him on your own. Oh boy, Yellow Devil was really annoying. You can't block any of these, and there's no sequence at the beginning. It just kind of happens. It's okay. This was my favorite boss in the entire game. It was really fun. It was kind of cool. You could actually stand on the rockets in the Dr. Wily stage. But beside the fact, you get a second form once you beat his first form, and then he has different attacks throughout that. And once you beat him, you have beaten the game and the boss. Okay. Recap. So yeah, so we got the recap now. We have basically finished the review. I'm just going to kind of go over what we've done. We gave the cover a 0.4. We gave the story a 0.33. We gave the script 0.33. Art 0.66. Music 0.33. Level design 0.5. Gameplay 0.5. Enemies got a 1. That's pretty good. Mini bosses 0.66 and bosses 0.5. Add those up together. And there you have it. It's a 5.21 out of 10. That's okay. That's okay. Again, I think the game, I don't know. I don't know what was wrong with it. To me, I was just more of relieved when I finished it. I didn't feel accomplished at all. There's really no point for me to go back and do the time trials. I mean, people do it in like under 5 minutes each level, so there's no really point for me to even try to beat it, or there's no point really. I don't really need to play it again if I go for the difficulty levels. It's going to be a different game, but I mean, I've already beat it. So that's it for today's game review. Thank you very much for watching. If you did, that looked very gay. I'm gonna cut that out. Thank you guys for guys. Ooh, that's sexist. God damn, you can't do anything nowadays. But thank you everybody for watching. If you did, I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, if you would like to watch me do more game reviews where I talk into a dildo, I would very enjoy that. You can go ahead and leave a comment. What game should I review next? I'd love to do that. I do have one game already in mind, so it's gonna be good. Thanks again for watching. I will see you on the next video. Well, I hope.